Bright lights. Ryan, would you take us into that, please?
Sure. 2 weeks ago, or January 23rd, I think we had an outstanding day of learning. It was at our midway point or halfway point or end of semester point. And we did a Waukesha 1 conference. Our goal and what we set out to do was to allow every teacher in our system to be a part of something at a level that we tried to compete with. Google does a Google Summit every year in Wisconsin. Costs quite a bit of money to attend, and we don't have the opportunity to send everybody to that. And Apple does different workshops, and so really we set out to try to create our own. And thanks to a team of planners and a visionary team and a logistical team and a launch team, Brian Yearling, I'm going to leave people out if I start naming names, but Brian Yearling started to head really some of this work. Mary Jo really had headed a lot of the components to make this a success. I didn't realize how powerful tablecloths could be at an event, but literally it set a feeling of it was important. People were special, people were appreciated, and then when you turn and look at the pamphlet,
Yes.
You'll see every session, other than a couple of keynotes that we brought in, who are educators around the area or in a neighboring state, every session was put on by Waukesha School District teachers, and they had a chance to design sessions, share their thinking. It was really a sharing. The biggest piece of the day was the I Commit station. We asked people to commit to one thing that they saw,
Yes.
not to overwhelm themselves, but to find something that they commit to, and they took those back to the building. Mary Jo put together a 3 to 4 minute selection of images. I thought as for a Bright Lights, we just go with that 3 or 4 minutes of images of the day. I can talk about a couple of highlights. In here you can see different sessions, but my favorite spot, I spent most of my day there, was the rock star stage. It was basically a concept that in 5 minutes, a number of different teachers who are either self-proclaimed or rock stars or have gone platinum with the number of quality lessons that they've provided, came on stage and in 5 minutes shared their passion for what they're doing and what they're trying. And it was a great casual place to stop, and then you got caught in one after the other. So it was hours long of 5 minutes of people sharing things out. But it was a great spot to get a glimpse. And then the breakout sessions afterwards were time for a much more in-depth. So.
It would seem to me, Ryan, from this wonderful conference that we're really leaders in the state, if not in the county and the greater Milwaukee area.
Yeah.
When I talk to people from other schools, we're really farther ahead than everybody. So thanks for your leadership and the leadership of Todd in getting this rolling, because this is really, really wonderful. And how we're using it.
Yeah, it was a great transition moment from are we deploying devices
Yes.
and do we know what to do with them to really the instructional conversation of here
Right.
are some things that they can assist you with. And it was fun to watch that piece happen. We had visitors from all neighboring districts. We invited a number of principals, teachers, tech directors from neighboring districts because we do see that we offer a huge value add to not only our own teachers but to other schools and districts trying this. So we didn't charge them an entrance fee this round, but we are planning on a little bit of an entrance door fee in the future because we do think that this is a workshop that will be well attended by all.
Well, and I think probably the most attractive part is that our own people ran it.
Yeah.
You know, our own learners. So that was wonderful. Thank you. It was a great day. Okay. Yes. Yes, I was going to say, what else? Where else are we going with this?
Karen has something? Oh,
Yes.
So what was some of the feedback?
I think the feedback was outstanding. What we heard, we did a formal survey and some formal feedback sessions to kind of guide our future planning. But, the challenges in professional development, especially in the middle of the year when people have a long task list of other things that are pressing, from grades to time to organize and get ready for second semester, the feedback we were really pleased with, because I think people felt that it applied to them. I think people felt that there was choice to pick what they needed to do. I know a lot of people said, and I don't want to undersell this, that it felt special. There was a lot of time in planning that team that put it together to make the building feel like you were at a conference. Everything from name badges to, almost everywhere you turned, there was something new and something that people thought about. So I think people noticed the time that was put in to support them. But I also do think that some of the feedback was, it was amazing how far we've come in about a year and a half time, where these technology tools that we've converted to are a part of our life in so many ways, and you can see by the session. So,
Right, right. Mr. Baumgart, thank you for being there.
Yeah, I'll give you some feedback, too. I was there for part of the morning and part of the afternoon, and I guess what I would say is the energy level was very positive.
yeah.
The people that were there were really enjoying it. And I attended a couple sessions, and the rock stage, where you really got these 5-minute bits. And I guess the thing that, if I could put it in simple words, it demonstrated that we have not simply just put iPads out there for people to have in their hands. Every one of the presentations or presenters that I heard had a message about a way to use this, maybe a new way to use it, and people were buying into it. I don't know how many people were there, but it was a huge population there, and 1,200. And the buy-in was evident. In fact, some of the rooms you couldn't get into.
Wow.
They were that popular. Therefore, you stood at the rock stage, and you got blasted with these ideas. And the fact that people were coming up with things that other people were going to try and stuff, the commitment boards. If you walked around at 2 or 3 in the afternoon and looked at the commitment board, the things that the teachers say they're going to try. We are doing more than just having iPads in the rooms.
Yes, we are.
We are using them
Yes, we are.
positively.
Yes, we are. Ryan, was this a professional development day for the entire district? So people were expected to come because there was no school that day, is that correct?
right,
Okay.
so we had the 23rd off, which was Friday. We also had the 26th off, but the 23rd, so we knew we had an audience, and we were challenged to really make the day as meaningful as we could. And that's a kind of an ongoing challenge with professional development, is finding that balance between task and to-do lists and things that we feel pressure to do right away, as well as balance it with learning opportunities. But I think we struck a balance with that, with good choice and some learning, and also with people that saw it wasn't an over amount. They could kind of grab what they
Right.
needed. And
Right. It
run.
looked like it, your offerings were for all levels, but how can I take it back to my classroom tomorrow and use it? And that's what I liked. So thank you so much for doing that. Are you going to do it again next year, you think?
Well, the planning team that worked hard, really, really hard to this, and you can't say enough about what
Obviously.
they were doing to make this happen. We want to do it again next year. We're looking at a couple options, but we haven't determined anything. We have tentatively slated it for that mid-year again, with a task. Now we have a task to raise the bar. But we've also looked a little bit at the summer as a part of our natural summer series that we do.
okay.
We think that might be an opportune time, not only for our district, but for other districts to be a part of it. But it's really going to be logistics. And I think with all the time that went into it, it's one of our challenges of, how can we repeat this? And people have worried about, if you do it too much, does it take away some of the newness? So we've got some things to look at.
I think, we need to keep the public apprised of all the wonderful professional development that we have when I think of what we do during the summer. And then during the school year, we're really on top of everything. So, kudos to you. We've got a well-informed staff. Thank you.
Can
Yes, please.
this is an unscheduled bright lights, so forgive me, and if this doesn't work, can you hear it? I didn't have it turned up real loud, but, okay, anyway, that's just a little clip. But in honor of our bands, all three but it was at South, and so South was the feature. I don't know, did you get there?
I was not able to make it because I was there in the morning with the
Yeah, you know, if I had it to do over again, I'd just emphasize to everyone, phenomenal, phenomenal day. On Sunday, the University of Wisconsin band, which is better than any in the country, came to Waukesha South. The gym was packed. I mean, and it was a fundraiser for the South band. But they show up, they had marched in with 8 tubas, 36 trombones. We counted them, and about 30 trumpets, and phenomenal. And I said to my husband, I don't think that famous director will come,
Sure he won't.
he was there, Mike LaCrone, who's about, what is he, about 86? I don't know.
No.
Oh, yes, he is. Anyway, he was there, and they put on this amazing, almost 2-hour program, and they honored our students and our bands, which are phenomenal. And then they had people who were from Waukesha West that are in the marching band at Madison stand up, people from South, people from North. And then later, kind of quietly, he had also people from Aguanago. But the whole idea was to honor our bands, and they must have done pretty well because they were selling all kinds of Waukesha, Wisconsin red this and that and everything, and also the tickets sales went to support our bands.
Wonderful.
And the turnout, it was just phenomenal. That South Gym has probably never been
that's
more
great.
crowded, except in a basketball state, something. Anyway, it was just incredible. So, a great thing that happened in our district. And talk about bright lights. That was a bright light.
Thank you for sharing that. We need to continue to celebrate all these great things going on around our district. Thank
And
you.
I have more, but I won't plan for you right now. I have a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Lanjo. Well, anybody else? Okay. Ryan, anything else on bright lights? No. Okay, so then, moving on.